Okay, I'm going to take you on our walk today around the park. Right now you're looking at our RV and our campsite. To the left there, that's a statue of Jesus. He's to welcome all of the boats back in from their day out at the sea. And basically you're going to go on the walk with me. Let me adjust that camera just a little bit. There we go. You can't see Patron, but he's down below you there. You're going to get to walk all the way around the park with me. What you're looking at is where the fishermen would park. There's none in here because we're locked down right now. And that's the bait store. They're on the left, that orange and white and blue building. There's some other walkers. Yeah, he decided to ride.
Can I ride?
I don't think it'll work. Our road's to the left. The bait store is to the right. It's a little over a mile and a half the direction we're going. I'll give you the exact distance later, I hope. It'll probably be written. And it'll take about 45 minutes, I'm guessing. Here comes two cute little doggies. Hello. Now we're approaching the first boardwalk and pavilion. We call it the Lima Pavilion and Boardwalk. It's actually got a big long name like Alfred E. Newman Lima, but I can't remember the whole thing, and the sign's gone. So we just call it the Lima Pavilion. This is the walk we take every day, or almost every day. Sometimes Patron doesn't want to go, and sometimes I don't want to go. To the left is the parking lot for the Lima Pavilion. It's got one car and one truck in it right now. It's about empty. We watched them build these boardwalks last year. The whole 6 months we were here. And we're now on the Lima Boardwalk.
That's actually the best dog stroller I've ever seen.
Thank you.
It's a good one.
Two little doggies saying hi to one another. This is a very dog-friendly park. Hi. How are you doing?
Good.
big dog.
Hello, Judy. Hello, Jim. That's Jim and Judy out in the parking lot. You can see them on the bicycles. They were our neighbors year before last when we were in D10 and D10A.
Total distance quarter of a mile. Total time 5 minutes and 51 seconds. Average pace 23 minutes 23 seconds per mile. Time of day 6:43.
I don't know if you could hear that, or if it cut off the recording, or if this is even working, but I'll find out when I get back. When Patron's riding, this is my normal pace. I don't feel like I'm rushing. It's just a steady walking pace that I have. Now when Patronus walking, we hardly move sometimes. He'll go from pole to pole, sniff and pee. Now you're looking at the Lima Pavilion. I really hated to see him tear down the old one here because it was right up against the beach and there was a big long bench along the front of it. It had cover from the sun. It was a windbreak and it was perfect for sitting there. I could sit there all day and look at everybody on the beach and in the water, and it was comfortable benches and just a really nice place to be. They've got these benches that you see all along the boardwalk, and they've got umbrellas above them, but they don't really provide much shade. The sun has to be just right for you to get any shade out of them. Fact is, people are tending to bring their chairs and sit out wherever the shade is hitting from the canopies. Plus, there's absolutely no windbreak. Now, this is the parking lot between the two pavilions. There's no cars in it. And in the background there, those buildings are the cabanas. They call them cabanas. They're actually concrete block buildings that are pretty rustic inside. That's where the family stayed last year. That's over to the left. I'll swing and give you one more view here. This section of the walk is not as nice as the earlier sections. Parking lot on the left and growth on the right that you can't see over, so you can't really see the water. You can hear it. You could hear it if I'd quit talking. And there's 2 or 3 spots where you can look through and see it. Here's a walkway down to the beach. Over to the left there, where you see that building, that's a temporary type building. You're looking right at it right now, and to the left of it is where we stayed one year, our second year I believe, in a row of RVs that looked out where you could see a little bit of the Gulf. But when they redid the road and built this parking lot, they tore out all of those RV spots. Those RV spots were actually where there's piles of sand right now. And then the temporary building was the community center for the residents in the winter, play their bingo and stuff. Hello. How are you all?
Hi.
And then the blue building ahead, kind of to your left, is a museum of sorts about sea life. And they do some stuff there too, but I'm not exactly sure what it is they do. Some of our groups have toured it. We've
Total
only been
distance
here
half
5
a mile.
years and
Total time 11 minutes and 6 seconds. Average pace 22 minutes 11 seconds per mile. Time of day 6:48.
just a little bit over 11 minutes and we've made half a mile now. And now we're approaching the Sandpiper Boardwalk and Pavilion. You can see the water. I'll shut up a little bit so you can hear it as we're walking toward it. The sun was shining till just a little while ago and it's still popping out every now and then. It's a little bit overcast. And we're about to start up the ramp to the Sandpiper Boardwalk and Pavilion. Hello. Although we're seeing a lot of people along the boardwalk and walking area, people are keeping their social distance. There are a lot of private get-togethers at the RVs. I saw one this afternoon that had, I think, 8 people in it, all sitting elbow to elbow in a circle. It's not that you think your friends will have anything, but all it takes is one of them to have it and not know it, and in the end everyone will have it. We've kind of social distanced ourselves from Jim and Donna. Hate to do it, but we've been keeping at least 6 feet apart. Not going to each other's RV. Just trying to be safe. We still get together every evening around 5 for cocktails, but none of the usual hugging and sitting close to one another. What you're seeing now is the strip on South Padre Island. A lot of high-rise buildings and condos and things down there. Now you see the Sandpiper Pavilion. And you're looking right into the sun. I hope that's not bothering you too bad. To have to shelter in place, we're in about the perfect place to do it. Beautiful weather, beach, surf, boats, ships, and a beautiful boardwalk to walk on. We always like to walk the perimeter of the Sandpiper Pavilion, and then we can either go back to where we come from down the boardwalk, walk straight through the park back to the RV, or go around the exterior of the park. We're going to do the exterior of the park today so you can see that.
Total distance 3/4 of a mile. Total time 16 minutes and 17 seconds. Average pace 21 minutes 42 seconds per mile. Time of day 6:53.
We've just done 3/4 of a mile. A little over 16 minutes. So I don't guess I'm going to get a 4-minute mile out of this. Here we could go straight, go back around the pavilion and back down the boardwalk, and we do that some days. But today we're going to hit the sidewalk that goes all around the perimeter of the park. Tron seems to be enjoying himself. He's looking all around. We did a little walking before we started this tour. He did some walking and sniffing and met a couple other dogs. That's the parking lot to my right for the Sandpiper Pavilion. No cars in it, it's totally empty. And we'll be looking into the sun for about a 1/4 mile. Hope it doesn't mess your picture up. Not that this is the most scenic part of the trip. Hello.
Evening.
How's your evening going?
Good. How about you?
Excellent, thank you. If we took a left right here, and I'll show you, we'd go back into the park. We could walk right down that road and it would take us right back to our RV. There's really not a big difference in distance any one of the 3 ways we go. This one, if we'd have made the left there and walked down in the park, it's probably a 1/4 mile less than the way we're going. And as far as going this way or turning around at Sandpiper, going back down the boardwalk is almost identical to going around the park this way, distance-wise. Hi. Now we've got a lady over here feeding the wild cats. I'll get up here and turn where you can see her. I don't know if you can see the cat for the pole. There's one coming out of the gate. This place is just loaded with feral cats. There's several behind the gate I can see. But we gotta keep moving. It's gonna be long enough as it is. The tape, I mean. We're headed toward the park entrance exit. If you pulled in and made a complete circle around the park, this is where you'd end up. There's a non-denominational church just to our right, just outside the park, that a lot of park residents attend. I think some of the people that have come down here to stay with us have been to it. I'll show you up here when I get closer to it. All the RV parking's to the left.
Total distance 1 mile. Total time 22 minutes and 12 seconds. Average pace 22 minutes 12 seconds per mile. Time of day 6:59.
We just did a mile. 22 minutes and some seconds. Trump's looking like he's wanting to jump out. I hope he doesn't, because that'll really slow me down. There's the church and the church parking lot. That is a section of the park we call the stinky section, because the treatment plant is going to be on our right in a little ways, and sometimes the smell gets over into there, although I don't really believe it's as bad as we make it out to be, because in all honesty, if the wind's blowing that direction and it's smelling, you can smell it all over the park. So it doesn't really matter whether you're in the stinky section or somewhere else, you're going to get the smell. But we call it the stinky section just as a way to identify it. And then that is what we call the triangle. And the reason we call it the triangle is the way it's laid out, it makes a triangle. So if you hear me say we're driving through the triangle, that's where we're at. And if you hear me say we're driving through the stinky section, that's where we're at. And then right there's the front gate. And you'll see a police car setting up there. You had to get a pass to come into the park. Now that it's closed down, it's residents only. So you go through the gate and then you have to show the police your pass. Right in front of us now is basically an equipment storage area for the park maintenance. Also back where I showed you the lady feeding the cats, that's an equipment storage area also. Now if you pulled into the park and stayed to the right, this is the first thing you would see and go down. That building right in front of us to the right, I can see blue pipes on top. I don't know if you can or not. That is the treatment plant for the sewer system. And there are times when it gets to be a little smelly. And then right to the left behind the fence is what we call the smelly section. Straight ahead, you can just see the blue top of their new convention center. You rent that out for concerts and stuff. As park residents, we have no access to it, not allowed to use it. And Patron just decided to jump out. I could tell he was going to. He was starting to look like that. So I may pause you and I may not, because he doesn't move very fast when he's moving. Maybe he just needed to pee. Come on, Patron, get back up in here. Come on. I'll let you walk after we're done with our walk around. Oh. So I'll put him back in and hope he stays there. Let me readjust you. There you go. When he walks, I don't get a lot of exercise because he does just what you saw. He plays. It can take us well over an hour to go around this place when he's playing and smelling and sniffing and peeing on everything. But I let him do that because he needs to get out and have some adventure just as much as we do. But today, deciding to tape this walk for you all, I didn't want to wait on him to play. We played a little bit before I started this, and we'll play a little bit when I end it. Usually he decides the direction we're going. Sometimes he'll take off down the path, sometimes he'll take off into the park. Sometimes he'll go up to the corner, poop, and turn around and come back. But he often picks the path. Now we're on the entrance road, past the gate, but inside the park. On the right behind all that trees and stuff, I have no idea what's back there. I'm gonna guess just open ground. Or on the left is the smelly section of the RV park. This is the least entertaining part of the walk, but it's still nice. Birds are singing, breeze, beautiful weather. And right along in here to the right, water stands a lot.
Total distance 1¼ miles. Total time 28 minutes and 54 seconds. Average pace 23 minutes 9 seconds per mile. Time of day 7:06.
Okay, we just passed 1.25 miles. I don't know if you could hear that or not. And I want to say a little over 28 minutes. Anyway, to the right, water stands a lot. And this time of the night, you can really get some bites. So far I haven't got any, and I'm moving pretty good, and that always helps. There's a lot of fleas and stuff over there in that water. Although it's been really dry lately, and I don't see any water standing right now to the right. Right in front of us is the bay. You can't quite see it yet. To the right, where that building is, that's the new convention center. Cameron County Convention Center. Or, I'm sorry, it's an event center. Cameron County Event Center. And just past it to the right is Dolphin Cove. That's where sometimes we'll sit and watch the sunsets. If you saw the little video I did last night, that's where that was taken at. Well, Patron's leaning out again. I'm thinking he wants out. We'll see how long we can keep him in there. Actually, the sign says, and I don't know if you can read it, I can, Cameron County Amphitheater Event Center. Sign right ahead. And there's a pretty good view of the Amphitheater and Event Center. And you can see the bay now. That's the parking lot for the event center. Although they tend to block it off and put vendors and stuff there when something's happening. Now straight ahead, you should be able to see the Jesus statue. That's where we started. That's where we'll finish. And I know you can't see it, but right over the blue street sign, straight in front of me, right on top of it is our RV. So that's where we're headed back to. We're going into the wind now. I'm going to guess that might make a difference in the sound quality. Used to, you'd have to sit here and wait for the traffic to clear. Not much traffic right now. To the left of us is the back of what we call the stinky section. To the right of us is the bay. Starting with that little group of RVs to the left is no longer the stinky section. It's a couple of dead-end roads that are real popular with the people that stay year after year. One of them is Turner. Cardizel, I believe, is the other one. Cardizel and Turner. They're dead ends, not a lot of through traffic.
Total distance 1.5 miles. Total time 34 minutes and 19 seconds. Average pace 22 minutes 53 seconds per mile. Time of day 7:11.
We've just done 1.5 miles in 34 minutes. But anyway, people that stay there has been staying for years and always had the same neighbors, or at least up until Isla Blanca changed their reservation policies, which really screwed a lot of people. They no longer have the same neighbors. They don't get the same site year after year. You just have to go on the day they open reservations and get the best you can get. Customer satisfaction is not their number one priority here. And My RV's the second RV on the left. Jesus statue on the right. We're just almost back where we started. And Patron's wanting out again. So when I stopped the cart to stop this tape, I'm relatively sure he's going to jump out. And this is where we started. And there's my RV. Okay, we walked 1.60 miles in 36 minutes and 36 seconds. That's 1.60 miles in 36 minutes and 36 seconds. I'll post that picture along with the video if it works out. Well, it looks like it's a new video, so it's not going to work out. Patron.